The world's biggest aluminium maker could soon start paying dividends for the first time since it listed, as it aims to refinance all of its debt by the end of the month. That news buoyed the company's stock in Hong Kong after it announced a profit slump of 70% for the start of today's trade. Rusal's debt burden has weighed on the share price for some time. Another factor is falling aluminium prices. The third, Rusal's feud with the world's largest nickel miner Norilsk over Rusal's stake in the company. It's really a battle for control between two of Russia's most powerful billionaires. Erik Danemar is the biggest shareholder in Rusal, which holds a 25% stake in Norilsk. But Vladimir POTANIN, one of Norilsk's original owners, is trying to force him out. So last week, Norilsk offered Rusal almost $9 billion for around half of Rusal's 25% stake. So let's just get more now on that offer with Erik Danemar. He's a research analyst at Deutsche Bank in Moscow. Thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. So what do you think Rusal and indeed the shareholders, most notably Erik Danemar, is going to say to Norilsk's offer to buy part of its stake back?
Yes, indeed, Maryam. The latest bid is from Norilsk, has been approved by the board as late as last week at 8.75 billion, and it's for 15% of the 25% held by Rusal. While economics clearly have changed since the time of the last bid made in February, I still think that these terms are not attractive for Rusal. The bid price on a per-share basis is about 10% lower than they were offered in February, and also the bid is again only for 15% out of the 25% held. The bid we saw in February was for 20%. Rusal would be required to sign a shareholder agreement that would restrict its voting rights and also put some conditions on its disposal of the stake. So again, compared to the bid they saw then from Norilsk, I think this is less attractive, and I would indeed also, given that Rusal has stressed its commitment to this investment, they continue to iterate that they see Norilsk as a strategic investment for Rusal, so I do expect them to reject the offer from Norilsk as the bid expires. There is a deadline on the 5th of September for Rusal to make a decision on this.
Well, Erik, what do Rusal's minority shareholders want? Because, you know, this feud is hanging over the stock, isn't it? Are they somewhat annoyed by DERIPASKA's insistence to hold onto the stake in Norilsk?
I think there are probably, as in any shareholder structure, differences of opinion about what to do with this stake, and also maybe the outlook for doing something useful. I think there maybe was more agreement on what the end goal, so to speak, was with Norilsk, but now the conflict, as you pointed out, has been continuing and dragging on, and there seems to be little room for compromise or agreement between the core shareholders, and there are also tensions between Rusal and Norilsk's management. So given that that reality has now arisen, there may be indeed divergence in views between the shareholders in the companies, but I think they obviously share an opinion that they want to, if they would ever consider exiting, get the best terms they could. And again, I don't think necessarily, given the benchmark we had from February, that there is a view that we're seeing that at the moment.
And a very brief response from you on this, if you can, Erik. POTANIN and DERIPASKA have been feuding for more than 3 years now. It seems to be more driven by ego and personalities, perhaps, rather than the fundamentals of the companies. What's it going to take to bring an end to this dispute?
Well, I think, I mean, you're right that there are industrial enterprises being built, as we see, and there are differences in opinion about how to go about that. One camp sees consolidation maybe more as the way forward. There's been discussions even on a government level with that regards. The other one see it more as a go alone and see the businesses as too different, seeing that there is no synergies to be extracted from uniting the companies. I think we are in a bit of a deadlock where we are now, and these buybacks that Norilsk is doing isn't really contributing maybe to solve that situation in the long term, or at least towards working towards a compromise. So I think until we have more clarity on the broader view on how to create value either as separate entities or as a combined unit, I think we'll find ourselves in this status quo that we're in at the moment, and that will continue to weigh on the stock, unfortunately.
Well, thank you very much. Great to get your thoughts. Erik Danemar, research analyst at Deutsche Bank in Moscow. Appreciate your time.